This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Rule. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the government is continuing efforts to improve the delivery of health care services to residents of Grand Bahama. The new emergency medical services vehicles, a part of a multi-million-dollar initiative, will aid in doing just that. Cleopatra Murphy reports.
Grand Bahama Health Services is expanding its fleet of ambulances with the arrival of 3 new state-of-the-art ambulances. Administrator Sharon Williams says the vehicles valued between $90,000 and $120,000 will improve service to the public.
What these 3 new ambulances will do for the island of Grand Bahama is significantly improve response time in cases of emergency and any event that we have to respond to from emergency medical services.
Williams says their arrival comes at the right time since 2 of its ambulances went down Thursday. There are now 4 ambulances servicing Freeport and 1 in 8 Mile Rock.
We aim to repair the 2 ambulances that went down, so eventually we will have approximately 5 to 6 in the Freeport area, 1 in the West End area.
The fleet expansion is all a part of improving the healthcare system to facilitate national health insurance. Williams says the Public Hospitals Authority intends to send additional ambulances to the island.
We need approximately 8 ambulances on the island of Grand Bahama, and that will be 1 in the East End, 1 in the West End, 1 in 8 Mile Rock, and 5 located in the central area for emergency response.
The new ambulances are a part of a fleet of 25 being purchased to strengthen the country's healthcare system. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
The government is paying increased attention to the medical sector on Grand Bahama. The latest push is the establishment of a medical educational facility on the island. A leading physician is expressing optimism about the potential of such an institution coming to fruition. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
Significant advancement in the medical field could be on the horizon for the Bahamas. This once officials say the government can broker an amicable agreement with the noted University of Miami to establish a presence on Grand Bahama and expand its Florida-based program. Medical Chief of Staff with the Grand Bahama Health Services, Dr. Paul Ward, was a part of those high-level talks recently with University of Miami officials and the Prime Minister, along with a cadre of medical professionals. Dr. Ward says the prospects of such a partnership would mean a great deal for the medical field, not only on Grand Bahama, but the country.
I feel excited and I feel optimistic. We were in detailed discussion with the Dean of the Medical School of University of Miami, and we were in collaboration discussing opportunities for collaboration with regard to a medical school in Freeport and also a hospital.
This leading medical physician says he is convinced that as this vital sector continues to evolve, so must medical education, which includes a wide range of areas. Specialized sectors which are in growing demand in the medical field. Dr. Ward stated that the country can expect to hear more from the government on this vital issue.
We had good discussions, very deliberate and optimistic, and you will be getting much more information from the Prime Minister when he make his address to the nation.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
In other news, the Minister of Social Services and Community Development spending time with the boys and girls at Columbus House here in Freeport. Minister Griffin taking the opportunity to thank the various sponsors who have helped with the operation of the home over the years. Kimberly Mullings has this report.
The Minister of Social Services and Community Development toured the Grand Bahama Children's Home as well as the Columbus Homes for Boys and Girls, which houses the senior children ages 14 through 18. Minister Melanie Griffin toured the Gallery of Grace First, the Arts and Crafts Center for the students, which she considers an amazing program sponsored by Sarah St. George.
The students are engaged in artwork of all kinds, that, brings out, I think, the inner them. They're allowed to be themselves.
The group also visited the Star Center, sponsored by the Rotary Club of Grand Bahama Sunrise, which offers after-school tutoring and music lessons. She finds the facility impressive.
Again, an expression of themselves, which I think is very important for children, particularly with vendor and residential care facilities, to be able to experience all of these things. And I understand that the lady, the tutor in there, is actually, her services are donated by the good graces, again, of a corporate citizens.
In keeping with the 2016 Child Abuse Prevention theme, Pinwheels for Prevention, the entourage placed a number of blue pinwheels on the lawn to show their support. Administrator for the Columbus Homes, Julieta Smith Ingram, says it takes the village of Grand Bahama to raise the children.
We have sponsors like the Rotary Club at Lucaya. We also have Pine Yard Steel, the fencing you would have seen, Pine Yard Steel, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Mr. Eugene Thompson. He's from BTC, Freeport Gospel Chapel. They are the church that have adopted us. And in addition to that, Freeport Bible. They also attend Freeport Bible and Central. So they are the three churches.
The minister is pleased that the community has come together to assist the Columbus Homes.
Whether persons are from overseas or whether they're local, everybody has come together in order to make life in the care village, I so love that name, in the care village, more comfortable for our young people.
Minister Griffin addressed a group of the young residents of the Columbus Homes, encouraging and advising them to be grateful for those who have invested in their lives.
Taking advantage of all, that they're learning, the education that they're getting, the contributions that people make to their lives to ensure that they have a better quality of life while they're here, but not only while they're here, but that they educate themselves to become productive citizens in our country.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
In news from the crime beat, 26 Cuban migrants turned over to immigration officials on Grand Bahama on Monday. The Cubans were brought to Freeport on board the U.S. Coast Guard cutter Richard Etheridge. The migrants were intercepted in the Quezal Bank area in two separate incidents. One of the females and at least two of the men told officials that they were intercepted at sea back in January 2016. Now, the migrants say they left Cuba en route to Florida. And another group of migrants being processed on Grand Bahama. 5 Brazilians were intercepted just in the nick of time on board a boat in the area of the marina in Lucaya on Saturday. Reports say a team of immigration officers were directed to the fuel dock near the marina, where they found a private yacht with 5 Brazilians on board. A male and female were on the deck, while 2 other males and a female were in the cabin below. Now, the Brazilians claimed that they were preparing to go on a fishing trip. After an initial investigation, it was determined that all 5 Brazilians came to the country legally, but had overstayed their time. They were taken into custody for processing and will be transported to Nassau to await repatriation. It is also understood at least one of the Brazilians was deported on 2 previous occasions. 32-year-old Darren Black was arraigned today in the Freeport court on 2 counts of housebreaking and stealing. He pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 4 years at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Black was also arraigned at the 8 Mile Rock Court and pleaded guilty to possession of ammunition, for which he was sentenced to 1 year behind bars. He also pled guilty to shopbreaking and causing grievous harm, and he was sentenced to 3 months. Darren Black was arrested on Saturday afternoon by police officers in the 8 Mile Rock Division, just days after a bulletin was issued for his arrest. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.